In this video, we'll be coding the footer of our web page. It will contain 6 links, 3 to the leftmost side and 3 at the rightmost side. Let's first create the semantic footer element in our HTML document. Then inside our CSS file, give it a background color of pound F2 F2 F2. This is some sort of light gray color. Next, give it a height of 50 pixels and a border top of 1 pixel solid and a little darker color than the background color. Just about that. Now inside the footer, let's create 2 div elements. Give the first div element an ID of left and the second div element an ID of right. This is the first div element. We've given it an ID of left, and to the second element we'll give an ID of right. The left div will contain the 3 leftmost links, and likewise the right div will contain the 3 rightmost links. Alright, inside the first div element, let's create 3 anchor elements and give them the text of advertising, business, and about. Let's set the href value of all the anchor tags to be pound. That's a way of saying that the link goes nowhere. Alright. Now if we save and load into the browser, we see that our links are right at the top left corner of its container. And this is their initial shape. To vertically center our links, we need to give them a line height equal to their container element. And since the height of the container is 50 pixels, we'll give them a line height of 50 pixels. We are targeting the anchor elements found inside the div with the ID of left. Now we see that our anchor elements are right in the middle of its div, before, after. Next, let's set the text decoration to none. That will remove the default underline styling of the anchor elements, and change the font family to Arial. That is the Google default. Right about this. Let's also set the margin right value to 10 pixels. When seen in the browser, the font size looks a bit larger. So let's change the font size to 13 pixels. Now if we reload, we see that now the text size is just about what we want. But the margin right value needs to be changed to margin left because we want some distance between the leftmost link and the left border of our footer. Now let's create 3 anchor elements inside the right div element and give them a text of privacy and terms, settings, and use google.com. Again, we are setting the value of href to be bound, implying the links go nowhere. And now let's fill in these links with privacy and terms. Settings, and the last link is use google.com. Save it and load into the browser, and we see that our links are invisible. We can't see where they are. I think they are hidden behind our left div element. So first thing we need to do is float our left div element to the left side. Now if we save and reload, we'll see that our links will appear inside the footer and right next to the left div. So the first thing we need to do is to float our right div to the right hand side. Write down the ID selector and inside float our div to the right. Now if we save and reload, we see that our links have floated to the right. Now it's just a matter of styling them and we will be done with our Google home page. Alright, let's copy all the stylings for the left anchor elements and let's paste them and change the ID definition from left to right. Also we need to remove the float left property. Let's replace the left value with the right. And here we are. All the styling has been applied to our div with the ID of right. But we need to change the value of margin left to margin right, since we now need to create the margin from the right hand side of the footer. And here we are. Our google.com homepage is almost complete, except that we need to remove the background colors. So let's remove background colors from all the containers, from all the elements of the page. Alright, let's remove the contents background color. That was some sort of green color. Then let's remove the background color from the footer. Okay, now if we save, we see that we have almost replicated the Google homepage, but wait a minute, we didn't need to remove the footer background. Now if we save and reload, we see that although we are kind of there, but it's not an exact replica of the Google homepage. We see that the footer has a distance from the bottom. It's not exactly at the bottom. So what we need to do is first visit the Google homepage. This is the Google homepage. We see that the links are at the rightmost side. The footer spans the whole width of the page. This is beautiful. And we are not quite there. At least the links should be at the rightmost corner as we see here. And the footer should span the whole width of the page. Also, it should be right at the bottom. There shouldn't be any distance from the bottom of browser and the footer. So let's get back inside our CSS file and change the height of container. Right now it's around 480 pixels, so let's increase it by say 50 pixels and see the result. Save it and reload. Oh no, now the scroll bar has appeared, indicating that we have increased the height way more. So let's change it to 510 and our footer is right at the bottom, but it's not spanning the entire width of the browser, and that makes it look horrible. So let's change our width from 960 pixels to 100%. And here we go, guys. Now not only the footer is spanning the entire width of our browser window, but also the links are right at the top right corner, exactly like the Google homepage. So we have finally done it, and